Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where I'm actually recording a bit ahead. Look at that! It's the 23rd and this video doesn't come out until the 24th. Oh boy. I have been procrastinating so much lately. That needs to stop. So, first things first, most of these balance variables are going to be moving into our balance class. The inventory, finances, those are going to be staying where they are, but most of these are going to be moving over, but right now isn't exactly the time to be doing that. And I think I'm going to rename this from object balance to simply balance. And I'm going to rename it in here too, because otherwise it won't import properly. So balance. There we go. And with any luck, it won't have forgotten all of our settings. Did it? Hey, it didn't. Excellent. Okay. So we've got our vehicles done, and we are partway through our buildings. We do need to reload this, of course, because we did, in fact, change things. So that's our business there. We need our balance here. Okay. So we've got two more sections here. We've got our airport and our port. And I think that's it? Maybe? Okay, where exactly... I do this every time. Where exactly did I implement this? This is in Sub-Hex Manager. Okay. Railroad Depot. Did I forget about that? I did forget about the Railroad Depot. We'll do that first. So public, building, balance, and in the Sub-Hex Manager, we are doing railroad next. So engine berth, railroad depot, and railroad. Engine berth. And we could be doing this a little bit differently to make it a little more efficient, but this is fine. So engine berth, railroad depot, and building balance, and this would be the railroad, just a piece of railroad track. Okay, and then let's also go ahead and put in our port and airport. So port next, public, building balance, and this will be the, what did I call these? Ship berth, loader crane, dockyard. Ship berth, loader crane, dockyard. And that's the more efficient way that I was just talking about. And finally, public building balance, and this will be for the airport, which is the runway hangar control tower. Runway hangar control tower. Okay. So, realistically, looking at this, do they get loaded on the runway? Presumably they do. There's no sorting facility here, but they would get loaded on the runway. Like here they get loaded by the loader crane, obviously. Yeah. I think that's going to be how we're going to have to do this, but we're going to hop in here and figure out a few of these things. So, first things first, we head down here and we are in the engine berth. Now, the engine berth is going to be about on, like the railroad area will be about on the same cost tier as trucking. The main difference, actually it should be more expensive, because the speed would be about the same, right? Because we've got a train here, and the train has a much higher cargo capacity, but also a much higher cost. But the speed is the same. So yeah, let's go ahead and create ourselves basically a new tier of cost here. So we'll go ahead and go for 12,000, I guess, for an engine berth. The demolition cost would of course be 3,000, and the upkeep would be 1,200. Very expensive. The engine berth would have no sorting or loading capacity, but would have a vehicle capacity of, I think, 2 to start with. We can always change these later, but this is just initial setups. So we'll go ahead and go through all of these and get these all set up similarly. Okay, so the railroad depot would be the same 12,000 for now, 3,000 and 1,200. Now, the railroad depot has no sorting capacity, but it does have a loading capacity, and it should have a pretty high one. Like, realistically, what is the staging area's loading capacity? 400. So realistically, this should be somewhere around maybe 3,500. Not sorting capacity, that should be loading capacity. And then the vehicle capacity is 0, with a vehicle storage type of none. Okay. Now the railroad track obviously has a vehicle storage type of none, vehicle capacity of 0, sorting and loading capacities of 0. I think that this should be quite a lot cheaper because you have to lay track to get to your location. So we're going to go down to the 1,200 tier. Actually, let's go down to just 1,000. Demolition cost would then be... Okay, so that's just divided by 4, so 250. So the upkeep would be 10% of that, or 100. Let's have the upkeep for railroads be 1/10 of the upkeep for everything else. Okay, so there's our railroad area done there, except we need to put in engine berth, railroad depot, and railroad. Okay. Excellent. So next, we've got our port to work with. Ship berth. This should be about the same level of cost as the railroad. So we're going to go with 12,000, demolition cost of 3,000, upkeep of 1,200. Now a ship berth, of course, has no sorting or loading capacity. It has a vehicle capacity of 1 right now. I think you can upgrade it to be like a double-sided pier or something like that. But it'll be a vehicle storage type of ship. And then the loader crane will not be a road intersection generic. In fact, it will be a loading crane, which is here. And that will cost the same 12,000 for right now. We can always adjust this later on. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's true. The loading capacity of the loader crane should be at least that of the railroad depot, but the ship is substantially better in terms of capacity than the train, right? No, it should be. Let's bump that up to 8,000, and let's have the loading capacity of the loader crane be 4,000 for right now. And of course, there is no vehicle storage type for a loader crane. Okay, and then for the dockyard, let's go ahead and set that as a dockyard. Construction cost will be 12,000. Demolition cost will be 3,000, 1,200 upkeep. There's no sorting capacity at a dockyard. That is almost exclusively done. You can have a small amount of sorting done by a postal office, but the sorting facility is where the vast majority of that goes. And this is in items per hour, not cubic meters per hour. That's a very distinct difference there. And that's going to be an interesting challenge to balance that. But the dockyard is not going to have any sorting capacity, and its loading capacity will be somewhere around... Hang on a moment. What is the point of the dockyard? The loader crane loads, the ship berth stores. So what's the point of the dockyard? What does it do? I wasn't expecting to run into that right now. Does it sort? It's more of a storage place, right? I I guess. Do we need a storage facility? I'm trying to decide here. What would a dockyard do other than potentially be a storage facility? Maybe we just eliminate the dockyard? I don't know what it does. We'll leave it for now. We'll come back to that later on. Okay, runway. Hangar. No, not runway. Hangar. And control tower. Now, the control tower is in a similar boat as the dockyard. No pun intended. In that the control tower is necessary for doing takeoff, landing, things like that. You need a control tower attached to a runway, just so that it's functional. But that's basically it. It doesn't actually have any sorting capacity. It doesn't have any... Go away, VLC. Thank you. It doesn't have any... No. Go away. It doesn't have any sorting capacity. It doesn't have any loading capacity. It doesn't have any vehicle capacity. The runway, of course, will definitely not store a delivery vehicle. The hangar will store planes, and you can store up to 2 planes per hangar with no capacity for sorting or loading. So 12,000, nope, 3,000, and 1,200 for right now. And then the runway would be kind of like the railroad in that we don't want... Did I just... No, I did not. Okay. We don't want the upkeep on it to be too much, but we're only expecting to have a 3-piece runway. That's all we're expecting to have. So I think it's fine to have the runway be the default costs for right now. So 12,000, 3,000, with an upkeep of 1,200. Okay, so these things are very expensive, and we're going to have to, you know, have actual money for that. But there we go. There's all of our buildings implemented and all of our vehicles in the balance. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that. And then the next thing that we need to do is in our balance, we need to go into our... Actually, we need to go into our business. And we can get rid of these costs because we have those in here. So that's good. We'll get rid of that. And then this here, we can actually get rid of this. We do not need that anymore. And then this here, we can cut out of here. And just paste simply into here. And we'll put that under our buildings. Excellent. And rather than calling it balance variables, I'll call it business balance. There we go. Fantastic. Now, obviously, we have some errors. Like, we don't have anything here. So, let's go to... We need to put in balance dot... what did I call it? What did I call that? We have a reference to it, right? I'm pretty sure we have a reference to it. And these here should definitely be moved to be under the UI references. Now, this isn't going to compile the way it is right now. Did we move it over to here? No, we did not. I'm pretty sure we had. but apparently not. Okay, so first things first. Public balance class. Actually, we'll just call it balance. And then balance dot plane dot vehicle cost is what we're going for. Or wait, no, this is the... This isn't the cost. This is the upkeep. The vehicle upkeep. I'm pretty sure. So this needs to be balance.ship.vehicle upkeep. This needs to be balance.train.vehicle upkeep. And this needs to be balance.truck.vehicle upkeep. Okay. So, I mean, we still have a lot of this going on. This is daily here. In our balance sheet, we explicitly state that this is weekly upkeep. Okay. So, with that being the case, maybe it should be monthly upkeep. Let's go ahead and change that. Upkeep cost per month. There we go. That'll help a lot. Because then, instead of doing on day tick, we can do this in on month tick. So on month tick. There we go. Easy enough. Now, we're going to want our income to come in slightly differently. We're going to have to change some of our UI elements as well, it bears noting. Like, for example, if we look up here, we don't have delivery vehicles up here. So we can very easily go into our canvas, hotbar, layout group, and just duplicate, say, planes. And I actually want these to be ordered differently. But this is going to be positioned about like that for now. And that still looks fine. So let's go ahead and have trucks be up here. But this is going to go here, and this is going to be delivery vehicles, BKG. Delivery vehicle text. And rather than 20 planes, it's going to be 0 delivery vehicles. Actually, we'll go with 1 delivery vehicle. And the question is, how much do we actually want that, or how much is that actually going to cost for 1 delivery vehicle? Well, we can check in here, and that is a monthly upkeep of $5. That is not much, but that's okay. So we have 1 vehicle delivery, or 1 delivery vehicle, and it would cost $5 per month to maintain that. Now, one thing to note, actually no, that looks fine. Okay. And rather than this being plain cost, we're going to have to change all of those errors here. That's going to have to be a thing that gets changed. But that's fine. By splitting it all off into this class, all of these are in the same place and they aren't messing with our business class when we're trying to do things in here. Now, of course, it's not going to compile, so these variables are still going to be there. I am noticing that in our business class, okay, we do have inventory there. Sounds good. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we will fix all of these compiler errors that we kind of created. See you all then.